never stops. LBC News.
Donald Trump says he's not happy with Iran as the UK withdraws staff from Tehran over security concerns. Some British diplomats and their families have also been moved from Tel Aviv to another location in Israel amid growing tensions in the Middle East. It comes a day after talks between the US and Iran over its nuclear programme ended without agreement. Well, let's bring in political analyst and commentator specialising in Middle Eastern and Arab affairs, Dr. Ahmed Khuzaie. Good to talk to you tonight. Thanks for talking to me here on LBC News. What's your reading of the latest situation? How close do you think we are to President Trump authorising military action?
It's not easy to predict what President Trump is about to do or about what not to do. The recent history over the past 1 year taught us that nothing about Mr. Trump is predictable. Yet, what happened so far over the past few days, today with Italy and the UK officials leaving over the past 1 week, other countries withdrew their officials as well. Basically, that is bringing us closer and closer to ground zero, but so far nobody's able to say it could be tonight, it could be tomorrow or the day after, but we are getting closer, that's for sure.
If he does authorise military strikes, will it change Iran's stance, do you think?
Initially, no. Over the first 1 week, nothing will change because what we've learned over the past 1 year with the 12-day war is that initially they targeted personnel, not masses, which could affect the decision-making in Iran, but it would not crumble it. Here we're talking about at least 3 to 4 different decision-makers. We're talking about the Ayatollah, that's one side. Then we're talking about the president, the IRGC. Then we're talking about everybody else. So that won't affect it over the first 1 week at least, unless he hits massively, which I don't see happening.
And how big are the gaps that currently exist? Have they narrowed at all during these talks?
As per the announcements today by the American side and by President Trump, he said, I'm not quite happy with the outcomes, but it opens the doors for further negotiations. But that's not in line with what the Foreign Ministry of Great Britain and Italy did today, withdrawing their diplomats from Iran.
What do Iran see as the toughest demands from the United States?
Everything. Iran have a tendency over the years, the past years, is that they buy time. They never agree on one thing, and they always play with words. Since President Trump ascended to the White House, that did not become the case of whatever is acceptable by the Iranians. They have to say exactly what they're going to commit to, otherwise a war is inevitable.
I think Washington has announced that Marco Rubio will travel to Israel for meetings early next week. Could Israel join the United States in these military strikes?
It's highly possible, especially with all the movements within Israel over the past 1 week. And I think the United States recently, is it today or early or yesterday, that they have announced that they don't have a problem with any American diplomat willing to leave Israel, which means that Israel is joining the United States in it.
So would these military strikes be limited, or do you think it would plunge us into a forever war?
I think it's exactly how you said it. It will start in a conservative way, targeted, with targeted personnel and targets. But I think it would even escalate. It's not the war that we witnessed last year. This is a much bigger one. The preparation has been much bigger, especially by the United States side. And we've seen lots of movements of military pieces around the Middle East, which is way much bigger than any other time in history.
We have, of course, seen all those protests against the regime over the last few weeks. Are those protests still taking place? Because they're not dominating the headlines like they have been here in the UK. What's the latest?
Actually, the demonstrations are growing more, but I'm not sure what's the reason. It's not just in the UK. The coverage of these demonstrations have almost diminished. From taking all headlines, they now deteriorated to third or even fifth priority on news cycles.
And yet, if anything, you're saying they've grown.
Yes, on the ground, I'm talking to people on the ground, it's growing. It's now touched basically the universities. It started in universities over the past 1 week. It's getting bigger and bigger in outskirted areas. The problem with the protest is, unfortunately, these protests can never bring the regime down on their own.
Okay, well, I really appreciate your contribution tonight here on LBC News. Dr. Ahmed Khuzaie, political analyst and commentator specialising in Middle Eastern and Arab affairs. Thank you so much for joining us.
This is